basically we're just digging a trench to lay the perforated pipe in, and we will put the gravel underneath of it and on the top and get this water to drain over to the sump pit. Good morning, Chuck here at Apple Drains. Today we're down in a crawl space and we're adding some more footer tiles to a previously installed job. And I don't know if you can see it there, but it's really wet. But we're just going to dig along this wall, put gravel perforated pipe in, cover it up, and we're done. So down in your crawl space, you just need what we call a sharpshooter shovel. You can see it's got a 16-inch spade on it. And this is perfect because it's just wide enough. It's just wide enough for the pipe, a little bit on each side, gravel underneath, gravel on top, and the water gets carried away. And the way you dig is the best way you can. It really doesn't matter. There's not any real secret to this. However, you can get that dirt out. You can hear me hitting the footer down there. That's where we want to be. Is right on top of or right beside the footer. You can see it goes pretty quick. And then when we're done, we just take our rake and rake this out and use the existing moisture barrier to cover it up. So once we get back to this back wall, I don't know if you can see it back there, but once we get back there, we'll bring in the pipe and the gravel and we'll go ahead and install. So it's really not as bad as it seems. Yeah, you do get wet on a day like this. There's a lot of water in the ground here, and the trench is filling up very quickly. But that's what we want to see. We want to see that water that tells us it's working. Okay, we're almost there. I like to work backwards rather than try to dig forwards. You can see I'm just working backwards towards this wall, and it goes really quick. And that should do it. Just go back and clean out some excess that's dropping in. So you've got a good trench down to the footer. And you can see that water. Let me get the camera so you can see it. You can see that trench fills up with water because there's a lot of water in the crawl space. And if you look back on that back wall, you'll see the white stain marks. That's called efflorescence. That tells me that there's water in the block. Efflorescence is just a salt deposit, sodium deposit. And when water gets in the block, it just forces that sodium out of the cement. Not a mold, not a problem, but it doesn't really come off the wall. Okay, so we've got the trench dug. Let's go get that gravel and pipe and install this and get it done. Okay, so we're bringing the gravel back. Derek's brought most of the gravel back to the back here. Now we just got to move it in. And these are 40-pound bags. And everybody seems to laugh at us when we bring our gravel in by the bag, but it is a lot easier. It's a little bit more expensive, but you know, it works just as well, and it's a lot easier to move the gravel because it stays contained, and you can usually pick it up and throw it a few feet, then pick it up and move it again. Bring it in by the bucket. That works good. Sometimes we pour it through the vent. Just depends on the job. So you can see we brought our gravel back here by the bag. We're going to pour a little base down through the trench. Then we'll lay our pipe on top of that and more gravel to cover it up. And even though it's in a bag, you still got to be careful with it. So we've laid our first piece of pipe. Remember, we've got gravel down underneath. Now we're going to hook up our second piece. And it's really close. It's about 22 feet. These are 10-foot sections. You can hear it snap together, maybe. We've got our pipe laid down in the trench. Now let's go ahead and cover with our gravel, starting back here in the back. Doesn't take a lot of gravel, but you got to make sure that you cover it. That helps keep the soil out. And also, the water floods from the bottom up. That's why there's a little base. And then it enters the pipe. And yeah, I'm getting dirty. But you know what? That's half the fun. I think that if you don't really like your job, you shouldn't do it. And I've always liked to play in the mud. Not really. Okay, so let's get some more gravel. Okay, so I'm going to show you what this looks like. You can see we've got our gravel perforated pipe that runs all the way back to the wall. And here we're still covering with gravel. You can see where we're connecting it to down at the end down there. Derek's just pouring his bags over top of that pipe. We'll have this all covered up. We'll spread out this dirt, put the moisture barrier back. Remember, we pulled back the moisture barrier. You can see it laying here. Just pour that back over the top and we're done. Okay, so now we've got the gravel put back. We leave a small mound here. This will settle. We smashed that all down, raked it out. We've got the moisture barrier back, and you can see that the area is already drying out. Within minutes, this water has begun to flow out of here. We just need one more bag of gravel right here, and everything will get covered, and that should do it. Hey, this is Chuck with Apple Drains, reminding you that if you believe you can do something, I guarantee you can do it. Have a great day. So gravel by the bag, 40-pound bags, easy for the homeowner to move around in their crawl space.